Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WB Mason Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com. Joined for the first time this season by the head coach of the Hofstra baseball program, John Russo. Coach, welcome.
Hey, Len, great to be back.
And back we are, 11 months, almost, a little more than 11 months, actually, without a game. And now we are on the eve of the 2021 season with a doubleheader on Sunday, February 21st at Seton Hall. So, Coach, how does it feel to be back on the field?
It's almost truly amazing, to be honest, to see what the world has gone through, to see what Hofstra has gone through. And, I just know from my side of things, none of this would have happened without, Rick Cole, your athletic director, without J.R. Tinian, your associate athletic director, without Cindy Lewis, my sports admin, without the athletic training staff, without our trainer, D. Just of what they had to do, with all the COVID protocols and, making the kids safe and the willingness to be able to do the games. We don't need to necessarily be playing right now. We could be started a conference weekend, April 9th. And, but I think it shows administration's really wanting us to play and really want the kids back on the field. And listen, I also have to compliment our guys. Like, besides being ready for baseball, they had a great fall, doing the right thing, and super proud of their GPA at 3.38 at the end of the fall, and they've done the right thing. And, basically every day is changing and, with facilities and the bad weather and everything. And they've just been a great group to be around. And, I'm just happy to be playing baseball tomorrow, but just be happy back to a little bit of normalcy.
Right. And let's talk about normalcy. Let's talk about baseball. Team last year coming 4-10 when the season was halted. But the record really deceiving. One of the top offensive teams in the CAA, one of the top offensive teams in the country. A bunch of close 1-run, 2-run losses. Easily could have been probably 8-6, if not 9-5. Going into that at the end of that season. But you return nearly everybody. The core is back. Pitching staff is back. Your top hitters, Austin Gauthier, Anthony D'Onofrio, Rob Weishauer, Brian Goulart, Kevin Brugman, all guys, Alex Sika, I'm probably leaving somebody out, Santino Rosso, all those guys, 400 hitters, 300 hitters, high 290s, all your runs. So how does it feel going into the season with really a solid lineup and now a really veteran pitching staff that wasn't taxed last year with innings,
I think us having the success we did in the fall and so far in the early season, just doing the right thing and being ready and being prepared is having everybody back. And, a big theme for us so far this month has been simple: just do your job. Each guy get ready, each guy get prepared. We have to have a lot of trust. We've been having smaller groupings for practice. We hadn't had hardly any team practices where everybody's in one spot because, I want to be really careful of, COVID and putting groupings together. But, you're led off by the preseason player of the year, Austin Gauthier. And, he had a great early season, I thought, last year, and, had a great summer, and he's just been down the right path. But more than stats, he puts it together by, his work ethic. I think his work ethic is unquestioned. He's hitting early in the morning. He's hitting late at night. He's doing all the little things that you need to do right. And, I think that kind of came from Rob Weishauer, who's, as good a senior leader as I've had in my career. And then, I got a couple Swiss Army knives and Anthony D'Onofrio and Ryan Morash that are willing to hit, bunt, squeeze, steals, delay steal, play defense, whatever it takes to win. And Brian Goulart and Alex Sika, who, really veterans to at bats and, just have a lot of college at bats underneath their belt and bring a really presence to the lineup. And I think one of the guys that, I've seen a lot of growth from so far this year is Santino Rosso. He's kind of taken his game to another level, and I'm super excited to see what he does in the middle infield. He's moving from third base to second base, and I think we're going to see really more athleticism come out of him. Love the pitching staff. Jack Jett, I think, is a great leader. I'm super impressed with growth and maturity. Jimmy Joyce was headed down that road, I think, last spring, and more than anybody, he really got hurt by everything getting canceled and no summer ball. But I think in the last month and a half, he's really made a big jump. You return Ryan Rue, you return Brad Camarda to the lineup. Brad was arguably 2 years ago our best pitcher, going into the season before he got Tommy John. You return a couple of veterans, Stephen Basha to the pen. Andrew Monday will be back at some point. Jack Anderson will be back some point. They won't be back here to start, but that's a lot of experience. And I agree with you. I think our record was 4-10. It easily could have been 10-4 if we pitched a little bit better in the seventh, eighth, and ninth inning. And we brought in a lot of arms to help us on that backside. So I'm hoping some guys might step up.
Going into the game, obviously some scheduled conflicts this week with the snow. It's supposed to open at Villanova, and now you pick up Seton Hall out of the Big East because they were able to plow their field and get that cleared off while Villanova was buried under the snow that we all had here in the Northeast. So just talk about the quick turnaround and what you're doing to prepare for Seton Hall.
I go back to this once again. It doesn't happen without administration. I mean, Cindy Lewis has been awesome as my sports administrator to make this happen, and then all of her people around her to help get this done. I mean, you're switching the bus company. You have to do testing protocols. You have to make sure your testing protocols match up with the Big East's protocols. And then, right when I thought we had all of that figured out, we have to get the umpires, get through them through testing protocols all at the last minute. So it's truly not as easy as switching a game, within 24 hours, 48 hours of what we did. And I'm super thankful for all the support that we got to be able to pull that. And I really echoed that to the players yesterday that, you had game notes ready to go for Villanova. You're knee deep into Villanova. And here at the last minute, I'm saying, hey, let's get ready for Seton Hall. And the next day, then you have, Seton Hall game notes ready for me on my desk. So, it's great support. I know a little bit about Seton Hall. I know they were picked third to start the Big East. They're usually one of the best teams in the Northeast. They have a preseason player of the year, McAvoy. Their pitching staff had a great start to last year. A mid-3 ERAs with games at St. Mary's, USC, and Liberty, who was probably as tough as opponents as anybody in the Northeast could have played. Coach Shepard's a legend, I think, in my eyes, in the coaching community in the Northeast, and the stadium's named after his dad. So a lot of tradition, a lot of excitement. I think it's my first time going to be at Seton Hall. So nobody on this team's been to Seton Hall, and I just think it's a great opening day. A lot of hard work done by Seton Hall to get their field cleared, to get their testing done at the last minute, to get everything arranged so we're safe to get down there. So just a lot of work to get to tomorrow's games. And, the one thing I thought is funny is it's going to be, 36 tomorrow with a real feel of 38. And that's become normal also right now. And so, because of all the snow we've had up here in the Northeast. So I don't think we'll hear any complaints from any of the coaches, any of the guys, anyone. They're just going to be happy to play some baseball.
All right. And baseball will be played tomorrow. It's Sunday, February 21st, 12 o'clock, a doubleheader at Seton Hall. The links for live streaming and live statistics will be available at gohofstra.com. And Coach, thank you for your time and good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, man. I appreciate all you've done, and we're excited to get this season going.
Yeah, and it'll get going tomorrow. And you've been watching the WB Mason Coach Report on gohofstra.com.